Hey, everybody, welcome to A Valuable Visit. Today, I am joined by our AI and data automations coach, Davis Becker. And Davis, I want to kick us off with a question here. How important is clean data in order to make data-driven decisions in fundraising?
Hey, thanks, Jake, for having me on here today. Yeah, clean, data-driven decisions is key. There's a lot of times that we, depending on the season of time and where we're at in the year, we're like, man, something's not going right, and we're like, want to change something, or we're quick to, okay, is it working or is it not? And so why or what allows us to make those decisions is when we have nice, clean data on that specific decision that we're trying to make, especially when it comes to fundraising. Being able to set, smart data-driven decisions is at the core, and we're able to improve our donor targeting through better segmentation when we have this data collection. We're able to create increase donor retention engagement when we personalize the communication and we have this data that we have. We're able to potentially boost fundraising ROI when it comes to it, because now the conversations that you're having are more direct to the point, and what you're trying to accomplish within each conversation, which then allows for hopefully better goals and outcomes for each one. And ensures reliable reporting to stakeholders and leadership. So when someone says, hey, why did you make that decision, or what's working well, you have the data to back it up. And so being able to report it monthly. And then another thing too is always going back to it, right? And we're always updating data. We're always adding donors. We're always segmenting different things. People are changing their gifts. And so making sure that we go back into it every, biannually or annually or whatever the team decides. But very key, important to do when looking at data.
Yeah, I feel like just in the world of fundraising and being a fundraiser, being able to, you said it, segment your donors, especially, well, first you got to have a donor database and you got to have clean data in order to even do that. And the power of being able to make data-driven decisions, I'm thinking practically from a fundraiser standpoint, so that you're spending your time wisely, because you're getting paid by an organization. You got a salary, you got benefits, or even if you're a volunteer doing this work, your time is valuable. And especially when we focus on major gifts, we don't have time to kind of take a shotgun style approach and be reaching out kind of into the ether that is our donor database of names without knowing some information about these people to pursue, especially for major gifts, that it justifies the ROI on our time, that pursuing these individuals for major gifts is actually a logical decision. It's a logical pursuit. And if we don't have clean data, everyone starts from ground zero, right? In every new mission, I think about startups, everyone starts with nothing. And then you grow. And there's organizations that have been around for decades. There's organizations we're having conversations with that are looking to start nonprofits. And so everyone's in a different place. And if you can start with a process to make sure that you are, especially with a donor database, logging their, creating profiles for them, making sure there's accurate information, logging their gifts, that's really going to help save you a lot of woes down the road and make your fundraising much more efficient and kind of like a surgical approach, like much more focused and specific when you are able to segment your donors, because you have clean data. It just makes you be able to spend your time more wisely. And I just find that extremely valuable. And so if I think about, some of our clients in particular, and people that we've talked to, there are folks who have data just all over the place. They got it in QuickBooks, they got it in spreadsheets, or they're just like grasping at straws, like from a spreadsheet, and they haven't been tracking their notes well, their activity well. Getting into even just logging gifts from a business standpoint, that can be a real struggle. So if there's an organization right now, someone that's watching this, and it's a mess, what would they do? How do you clean up your data? What would you recommend as first steps?
Yeah, great question. To quick follow up on how important, spending your time, when you're looking at those data driven decisions, which clients am I going to go meet face to face with? Which ones am I going to set up an email and nurture the conversations with? And that's important with that segmentation that we talked about a little bit there. But yeah, how do we first begin is getting all of your data into one location. That's for first and foremost, if you don't have it in one location and everyone using the exact same system in place, it's going to be tough, because there's so many times that I think, oh, I'll remember this here and I'll write this down here next week. And you're like, no, that's not how that's going to work. You brought up the medical, right? Everyone hears about charting. Well, what does charting mean when the medical profession, these nurses, oh, we spent a lot of time just charting. Well, after they're done in that visit, they spend the majority of their time, what did we just discuss? What did I just write down? What did I just find out about that patient? And so when we have these conversations with these donors, it's like the most important time is the 15 minutes post conversation. What are you doing with that time? Where are you making these mental notes of what you just discussed? What's your follow-up action? And where are you putting this down, so that not only yourself, but also your team and whoever you're working with also knows, so that one, you don't double up or you don't forget. And so it's just that structure. So keeping clean data. So one, having it in the same place each time, making sure, and when you do have that in the same place, now you can remove all of your duplicates within your CRM. And so that your CRM is also talking with your donor base, and your email address are going and updated so that you're sending the right emails to people. So asking for a yearly update on updated best contact information, so that how do they want to be addressed, making sure that you have those contacts in there, validating emails, establishing wide team data entry standards to prevent errors. So having everyone on the team, the approach of what we're trying to do, and then schedule regular cleanups of your data, because the moment you said it, yeah, this is the perfect thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's right, we created that one time, but it's not updated. So scheduling those regular cleanups to stay consistent with your team, just some very key things. But have your data in one spot, and making sure you're continually using it.
That's great. We'll end it there, Davis. So everyone watching, it's just really important to have clean data. And if you can do that when you start, great. But the next best time to start is today. And so maybe your organization needs help with some of this stuff. You can reach out to me. We can have that conversation. But Davis, I want to thank you for your time on this valuable visit. Everyone watching at home, thank you so much for viewing. We'll talk to you next time. See you, Davis.
Thanks, Jake.